Broadcasting basically live from a burning inferno, it's your boy, Burning Maid! And joining with me today is my old pal, Spinning Shark!
What's going on?
Today, we're going to discuss about the FEH Pass, and of course, the rest of the FEH Channel. But the FEH Pass is probably the most important thing to talk about. Now, before we start though, I'm just going to go and do a quick 5-star summon on my Year 3 special hero summon. Colorless didn't even appear. God damn it. God damn it.
Oh,
God damn it.
That it was just random like that. I thought it was one of each color.
Dude, this is stupid. This is so incredibly stupid. This is even dumber than that Year 2 thing. Now I think about it, where we had to deal with Duma and Legendary Lyn. At least I get to have a chance with a color. This time I don't have a chance at all. I got Useless Path! Except Useless Path is wearing something much less useless. And she's probably less useless as well. Let's see, so the Green Tome, I got Grand Blooms, Rally Dev Res Plus, and I got Res Faint out of her. Oh, god damn it, dude. I can't believe I pulled Mist.
It's
terrible.
It's still better than Tomato Tome.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that. Okay, alright, so let's go and talk about the main topic then. So, what do you think about the FEH Pass? I mean, I hear a lot of mixed reactions. Mixed negative reactions, but the reactions that I've thought about, from what I've seen, from what people say, are, okay, it's not worth the $10. The stuff that they offer is not worth the $10. So that's one side of the argument, of why it's negative. The other side say that, oh, it's power creep, it's pay to win, it's all kinds of stupid things about, you know, it's just a pay to win program. There seems to be a common middle ground, though, in that it's absolutely terrible. So, what are your thoughts on it? Considering the fact that we're both money-spending peoples, I mean, $10 is really nothing to us, but I would still like to hear your opinion on the matter.
I do think it's controversial, but one thing I would not say it is pay to win. I don't like that argument at all. If you remember back in the day when the Burger King package came out, I didn't hear a single person call that pay to win. Everybody loved that shit. They bought that shit. Free-to-plays popped that free-to-play cherry for that shit. So I don't like that at all. It's not about the power. It's about the quality of life improvements that you can only get if you pay. And I think that is where it's more controversial. What do you think about, like, take out the value items, the orbs and all that, just the react and the summoner support and the auto battle, like the actual quality of life changes? What do you think about those?
Well, these are obviously good stuff that we have. I mean, I think part of the problem is, as you would say, that that these things are offered as pay to win things. I mean, not pay to win, just behind a paywall. So, if these things are behind a paywall, I think that's really the main issue with regards to the whole FEH Pass thing. If it was like just a skin and just the +2 stats and the extra summoner supports, I honestly think that people won't care as much. I think it's just a mere fact that these quality of life thing is slapped with a price. It's what's causing people to be upset. But power creep and such, I feel like people just kind of like,
So let me pose this then. Let's say they spliced this package off and did, like, you know, if you want those skins and the units and the orbs, let's say it's $5. We're just going to make a separate thing for like $2, where for the month you get auto battle. We'll do a separate $2 package that gives you react. We'll do a separate $2 package that gives you expanded summoner support, so people could kind of pick the things that they want out of it. How would you feel if it were like that?
Well, it reminds me of this stupid thing with when we played Langresser, and we had this 99 cents clock thing where we get to go back previous turn. It's like Miller's turn wheel, basically, for Langresser. And I thought that, well, it's stupid. it's stupid in the fact that I don't know, man. I mean, I hear people actually recommend using it a lot in when we actually played Languish. I remember people say, "Oh yeah, you know, you do spend $1 on this thing." But I think the problem is, for a lot of people, just spending any amount of money is a problem to them. I think some people simply don't have access to credit cards, or they just don't want to spend money in a game in general, that sort of thing. But if you were to say you want to charge $2 for these features, I think one of the problem with that is that other games have this feature now. Like, Dragalia Laws has auto replay, so people are using that as an example as to, oh, you know, we shouldn't charge for shit like this. I mean, it makes sense to me. You really shouldn't charge shit for shit like this. You know why? Because I can simply just go and macro. I just use a macro and just go and auto those maps. That's what I do. It's just that, you know, now it saves me the step of having to get the macro itself to auto these things. But, you know, I never done that because it's such a pain in the ass to set it up. I'm lazy. I'm just don't want to do it. And, yeah, I mean, for me, $2 really isn't a big deal. But I can understand how it is for other people. And that same goes for the packs. If we separate the packs to like the $5 for like the skin and the 2 to all stats, I actually think that people would like that a lot. Because it's just like what happens with the Burger King pack. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think even if they had split these and it was like $2 for React or Auto Battle, they've clearly recognized that these are things that the game is lacking. Like, they want us to pay for them. These are changes they should have just built into the game, like the Auto Battle and the expanded Summoner support, especially because they're just part of the core game. The React, maybe I can see because it's like, oh, you screwed up. You know, you're an idiot here. Go play again if you want to pay $1 or something. But like, these other things should just be in the game. And I feel like it would have been better if they maybe put these in the game, and then if you wanted to have a slightly additional feature, like, hey, maybe you get the auto battle, but like if you buy the monthly pass, you can like choose up to 5 stamina potions, so you get like more auto battles. Like, make it additional. They should have put some of this functionality into the game base and not put it here, especially the ones like the auto battle and summoner support. They just feel like they should be in the game. Switching between summoner sports sucks right now. I would love to have 3. It should just be in the game. I guess other than that, though, I don't even think the cost is that bad, because from what I saw, it was like 10 orbs, 2 units plus skins plus stats and all these other things. I don't think the value's terrible at $10, but I can see why people are still annoyed, because the auto battle would be nice to have without having to pay anything.
Well, I have to think about that. So, you talked about 10 orbs, but it also the quest that they demonstrate in the video also talks about having divine codes, divine dew, heroic, like 120 divine codes, 35 divine dew, 50 heroic grails, 120 aether stones, and these quests appears twice every month. So bi-weekly, we get like, you can pretty much just double each of these amounts for like every month. So that's actually pretty considerable. For $10, it's actually quite a bit. I mean, you think about it like this. In Dragalia Lost, we had these weekly packs that we bought, or monthly packs and other stuff like that we bought that also offers up these things. Except this time, well, we had to work a little bit for them. Hopefully it's not too annoying, but in terms of value, it's actually pretty decent. I feel like this whole pass thing, I've been seeing it in a lot of mobile games lately. It's a way to squeeze in more game time and also get a subscription off of you. I feel like that's the way things are going to be coming forward, so I'm not too surprised to see FEH actually getting a FEH Pass. Now, with regards to power and power creep itself, with regards to this, I have to also consider this, because first of all, we know that like popular first gen units are finally getting their fixes, except now it comes at a price, which I thought to be completely stupid, honest with you. They should have just done this for like all the heroes without having this stupid skin thing. I mean, I think it's something that they should have just kind of given out for free, you know, go through a quest or something, and then your first gen unit has 10 extra BST. I mean, you look at 2 to all stats, it doesn't feel like a lot, but it actually is when it's 2 all stats. That's 10 BST right there. Think about old, like, sword users. They're like, what, 156, 157, 158 BST? So now you have something that goes up to 168, which is a lot better than what they were before. I don't know if arena scores and such counts for them, but it certainly makes them a lot stronger and more viable. And then you also have to consider the fact that they can get 10 levels of the dragon flowers, so that's another power level increase for them. And then you also have to consider the fact that, hey, look, now we have summoner support that we can get 3 of. So now, when you do maps, you can have three summoner supported heroes in a map, which make things considerably easier, because now you're looking at not only the 2 from those stats, you got the 2 to dragon flowers, and then you also got a summoner support, 6 to all stats, and then you also have to consider the HP gains and all that stuff. Your units get a lot stronger as a result. So I mean, I could see where this power creep thing is coming from. I honestly say that, you know, it would be nice if they have given this stuff at least the stat bonuses for free for that. The summoner bonuses, though, I mean, we already have 1 summoner support, but you know, having 3 it does make quite a bit of a difference. Now I wonder if after your monthly subscription, if you cancel it or something like that, if you would still be able to get 3 summoner support. I feel that maybe you might, but I also feel that what they could end up happening is that you only keep the one that you initially summoner supported, and then the other 2 just kind of gets disabled until you pay for it again. But I could also be wrong, and I hope that I'm wrong, and that they just stay there, and that you just can't change or add any more summoner support in the future. And that same goes for the skins too. I'm pretty sure that the skins that we get for like Lynn and Cordelia would actually stay afterwards. It's just that you have to pay the one-time fee of $10. They even offered up a list of the characters who's going to become resplendent. So that said, it's definitely an option for you to pick a specific month to get these bonuses. So, I mean, part of me is like, you know, this is actually a good thing. But the 2 to all stats definitely, I don't know, it should have just been there for everyone. But the skin thing, though, I definitely like, because I've always been an advocate that we should sell skins to make money instead of selling more and more power. So, I mean, this is good. The whole FEH Pass thing is an experience on, hey, you know, how do we make more money? How do we monetize this game in another way? It's a shift in monetization, as you told me earlier. So I think that, in a way, they've got some good ideas. It's just that it's just poorly implemented. And when you shove quality of life in there as well to try to sell that at the same time, that's when you end up having a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the skins are exciting for me because this is finally a way for them to reinvent or like get someone excited about some of the old characters again without making a million alts. Like, I would much prefer if Lynn had like 2 alts with like 10 different costumes. I would probably buy them all instead of just making all peers like the 10th Lynn again. Like, well, don't, you know, you pay like a fixed fee, $10. I get my skin. I don't have to go RNG into the gacha for a new Lynn, and everyone's happy. Like, that's a win. But the rest of the stuff, like you were saying, you know, the stats, well, why didn't they just buff Dragon Flowers again? Like, they're kind of feel bad anyway. Could just put that in there. Summoner support, same thing. The other things show that they're trying to target these lower spenders. Like, the whales, or like us when we were in our whaling prime, like, dude, we'd have bought this if it were $20, if it were $30. They're buying it for the stats regardless. All of those whales are going to buy this no matter what. So this is clearly aimed at the smaller spender. And if you, I guess we can wait on the other change that goes along with this with summoning on the new banners. They're clearly trying to get more from these smaller spenders with this. This is a low price point. We already discussed that we think the value as a whole is pretty high when you factor in everything for the $10. So this is just a new direction for them, is to go after the smaller spenders. And I don't know. I guess we'll see how it plays out, but it is concerning, at least a little bit to me.
Well, I mean, I could see where the concern is, but also kind of feels that in a way it's kind of overblown. But I do understand that they should not have put in the quality of life, and that they really should have just avoided that. If they had, and they had just done the skins and such like that, maybe even $10, I think it would have been fine. But I mean, it would just be like another Burger King deal, to be perfectly honest. And we both talked about this before, the previous year, about how we needed more of those things, like these Burger King meals, instead of these like $70 New Year's packs. I mean, $70 New Year packs and such like that are affordable to us because they're like, hey, you know, we would buy these orbs anyway, and then we'll get these units like that. But for normal people that don't spend that much money on stupid cell phone games, you know, that's very unattractive. So as you say, the $10 thing, $5 thing is relatively affordable. See, a lot of people talk about this monthly thing as in like you get all these benefits, like you have to keep spending monthly after month for it. But if, of course, we don't know quite all the details yet, because the FEH Channel is stupid and doesn't like give you all the details with things. But if, say, you get to keep your units, your skins, your summoner supports and such like that, the $10 thing is actually a pretty good deal. If they made it $5, even better. If they've done that and then they just, you know, kept the quality of life changes as its own thing, you know, for free, then I think that instead of being reviled, I mean, like, look at the dislike ratio for this video. It's like, what is it? 5,000 likes and 12,000 dislikes. 13,000 now at this point. And for the Japanese, it's 2,000 and 2,000. The Japanese tend to be very relaxed with these things, and even then they're pissed off. Like, even then they have very mixed feelings about it. So this FEH Channel definitely could have gone a lot better if they had went that direction.
Or even if they wanted to really make quality of life be something they're going to charge for, make it permanent. Like, remember back to the original days. Now, I don't know that we bought orbs for this, but you and I are probably a few of the players still playing that have 1,100 slots. I bought that shit right away. Like, if they... point is, if they were like, hey, spend $5, you permanently have 3 summoner supports. That would be a lot different than making you have to pay for it every month. Even if you increase the number, like the cost on what you're going to charge, if you're making it permanent, players have an idea of like whether it's worth it or not and can make a one-time decision instead of like, well, am I going to lose my summoner support now? Is this really worth it? Like, other games have this too, like with the orbs, you know, Fate Grand Order, you expand your inventory. Like, that's a type of thing that they could have done if like they wanted to try to make quality of life monetized. They shouldn't make it on like a basis where you lose it if you stop paying.
You know, that's the problem with FEH Channel in general. Like, imagine these things that you just talked about. If Feng decides to go and explain all of that with his stupid mustache, if he had actually done that, you know, that's the whole problem with Fei and Feng in general. They just don't say enough things. They just like, they play this whole cutesy act about, oh, I'm a fucking owl. I'm gonna introduce these stupid features to you, instead of, you know, going into details about said features. You know, it would have actually helped them a lot. They should just start actually going into details with these things. Them being vague about it is just blah. It's causing them a lot of issues. Imagine what you said was true, and that these quality of life things, that, you know, the auto replay, the react, and a lot of shit like that, it's actually permanent after you get the monthly pack once. But Phoenix failed to actually said that. If that is the case, then the FEH Channel would have probably been better than it is now. They really dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah, and I mean, I still would have been like, well, they should have just put these changes in for free. But like, if it's permanent one-time purchase, it's a lot different than like Hey, I've had auto battle for 5 months. Oh wait, I really hate the units that are on the skins. I'm not gonna buy it, and then I lose my auto battle.
Yeah, imagine though if that happens to our barracks. Like if this was like if the barracks changes happen now, oh my god, dude, I
It would
would
be a
get such a
disaster.
headache because, dude, I just saw through so many. My barracks is like 1,000 units strong at the moment. I am still too lazy to turn them on the books. So it's going to be a huge mess to clean that shit up. And imagine like the other quality of life changes we had, like more stamina and other stuff like that that we've had, and like this learn skill through the unit menu, such things like that. And we had to spend money on that. That would be crazy, dude. So at the very least, we should thank, well, whatever God you pray, that for small favors, that we don't have to go through such horrible things.
Agreed. I think we'll see after a month or two, like if how much more information there is that they didn't say, and whether it's as still as controversial as before. But I don't know. I think to summarize on it, I don't think it's as bad as some people think. Like I think there's a lot more value than people think, but I do definitely understand and sympathize with the like putting quality of life into a paid recurring pack is really not the best solution for the game. So
Yeah, I mean, I see this as something I can tolerate at the moment because mainly I'm not even looking at the quality of life. I'm looking at the skins that I want, and eventually I'm gonna want to power up Grom or something and give him those 6 to all stats that we just discussed about, or Sakura or something like that, so I can make Super Dr. Sakura. That would be so sick. Or Super Nino. That'd be so sick. But yeah, anyway, I think we've gone too long with the FEH Pass. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the
no,
FEH
I
Pass?
think we can move on to the what do you want to call it? The weird version of skill shop, the combat manual, whatever.
Compile combat manuals. I think that's what they call it. I just call it using my goddamn toilet paper, divine codes, to get skills off of the list that they put out to us. I don't even know what to call it, honestly. But so what are your thoughts on that?
This is another case, like you just said, where they did not give us enough information. This is either going to be extremely pathetic and a very lazy, poor attempt at giving us access to more skills to inherit, or it will be, I want to say, not ideal, but it will be still be welcome. And that point is whether or not these paths are repeatable or not. They did not show what happens if you finish the full path. What happens? Is that it? Do you get your... I'm looking at the path 2 on the video. There's a cliff. I want that cliff. I love Fortress Res Defense. Everybody loves Fortress Res Defense. I want many cliffs to give to my units. If I get that cliff, what happens to that path? Is it gone? Do I move on and never can go back again? If I only get one cliff and that's it, like I get one of that skill and then that's the end of this process, that kind of sucks. That feels pretty crappy. If I can go back and continue to get more cliffs over and over again, that's closer to the type of skill shop that I've been waiting for, where I can just buy the awesome skills and make cool, unique new builds. So that's going to have a pretty big impact. I guess I'll also say I saw there are some seasonal units you can buy, like there's that Spring Camilla. So like them coming back and being able to get copies when they're not on the returning on the like legendary and mythic banners, that's kind of nice. But the main part of this is whether we can get the cool skills. So I really think whether you can repeat these paths is going to be make or break for this thing.
You know what I think it is? It could be a thing where you can't do these paths again, and that afterwards it's like a rotation. Like every month we have like a set of 10 paths, and we can only get one of each of these things. I think that's what they're doing with this. I honestly don't think that they'll give us so many cliffs. I really think that when the time comes, each month we're gonna get like 10 different paths, and you can go down whatever path you want. And then after getting 4 manuals, you can finally get the skill that you deeply desire. Which I honestly thought is stupid as hell, because one of the things about these games is that they tend to make you buy things that you don't want. You're spending money for things that you don't want. And this time, it's not even RNG that you have a chance where you can bypass all this. No, you have to do this 4 times in a row. You have to use 4 units worth of toilet paper before you can finally get to your cliff. That is the part that I really, really hate about this system. I don't know what the hell is the point of this. They do have like these red toilet papers with period blood on them that you can use to summon like whichever period hero that you want. I thought that's what they should have done with the regular toilet papers as well. But well, as it is, I don't know if I really like the way the system is implemented.
Yeah, it seems like a lazy or maybe even opposite. It's like an intentional, like we don't want to give you a skill shop. We're just gonna give you this crap would make you buy all these units you don't want first to get what you want. Like I just don't know why they would do it like this either, which is what you were saying. It's pretty strange. I mean, and they went out of their way to put these seasonals in there, which they didn't have to do. Like I do think that's worth mentioning. Like, you know, I don't feel like, oh, I need to wait and try and get, you know, if I want that bunny Pala, I don't need to wait for her to come back on the seasonal banner because I'll just get her on one of these paths. But like, I still have to spend three other units first to get her.
You get the book though. You have to remember, it's just a book for her. It's just a skill. You don't actually get her.
Oh yeah, that's right. You need one copy of them first. That's not a book, so you can merge into. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that was like, oh man, you're getting mixed up for a second there. But yes, yeah. But I think that's probably why they just don't want us to get like these units so easily. They want to make us jump through some hoops for it. But from the looks of things, I really don't think we get repeats. I really think that it's just one at a time.
So if that's the case, let's say that is how it goes. Whether or not there's any merit for this is going to depend on how many more units like Cliff they rotate in. There are definitely a lot of other units out there with awesome skills. Like, you know, hey, if you see like Close Call comes up in the 5th one, you're probably going to be like, I want to try and go on that path. But who knows? We don't know what they're going to put in here. Like how long after skill debuts on the banner is it going to take for that unit to show up on a path? Like, I don't know. They didn't tell us any information on this stuff.
Yeah, I remember specifically stupid Phoenix decides to go and be all like, oh, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about this. What the hell is the point of keeping my mouth shut about this when this is like crucial important information? Why must you be vague in a FEH channel? I just don't understand. This is the perfect time to build up goodwill, you know, to let people know that you care.
Nope.
But nope, instead you give fake information, you make this thing looks like shit, and now this FEH channel just became bad will instead of goodwill.
Is the system also coming out like soon? Like it's not like it's a future thing that's coming out in 2 months and they don't want to give it away. Isn't this like within a week or something we're getting this into the
Yeah, I think it's coming fairly soon. Even if it's 2 months.
Version. Like that's when it's coming. Isn't that soon?
Yeah, I mean, I think that honestly, you know, we could easily be discussing, even if it's 2 months, that's plenty of time to talk about this system in detail. Still, at the very least, we finally have a skills shop, but it's kind of an awkward skills shop. I don't know, I mean, if it's the way I described, you know, where you can't choose the multiple copies of the same heroes, which honestly probably is the case. What do you think about this skill shop? Would it still be enough to be worth your time in consideration?
That will probably depend on the actual costs. If it's going to take like, you know, whatever, let's say a week's worth of those toilet papers gets me like 1 unit. So it's going to take me like 5 weeks to get from the path, basically the whole month, to get all the way to the end. That's going to feel pretty crappy. If maybe like, you know, a couple weeks, I can go through the whole thing, that might impact this. If I can clear out like 2 paths, especially if it turns out that they, you know, you can do them twice, so I can get like 2 cliffs or whatever. But yeah, and again, they didn't mention any information on like what they cost, right? They just threw like a shit ton of toilet paper and said you can have like a Xian.
Yeah, I get that's pretty much it. Yeah, they didn't tell us enough. So hopefully, they would have some sense to make the cost not too high. But I have a bad feeling about this. It could be like what you just described. It'll take us a whole month just to clear a path, or even worse, 2 or 3. I don't even think we have enough toilet papers right now.
Yeah, and if the only source is the Majolan whatever strike thing, I really hate that mode. It's so stupid too. Like, put other sources of that thing in the game.
Well, I mean, it's their way of selling Mythic Heroes, because Mythic Heroes doesn't do much besides Aether Raids, and Aether Raids, well...
What's that one? It's like you log in and it's like, oh, it's time to attack, and you just press attack, and that's literally it.
Oh, dude, that Mjolnir Strike stupid attack thing is stupid, too. Like, what the hell's the point of having, like, a voting gauntlet against the AI? Ooh, oh, more boy, so much fun. You know, there are people who forgets that. There's people who forgets even the shield phase. So, the Mjolnir Strike thing is just really stupid. It's just a whole dumb system to sell mythic units. That being said, though, we are going to get that third anniversary, what is it called again? God, the People's Hero. It's got a fancy name to it, but I guess I'll just call it the People's Hero, like The Rock. It's like you get to
A hero rises,
and then you get to
a hero rises.
A hero rises. That's right. And I was thinking something like he's like a superhero or like Batman or something. There we go. There you go. A hero rises. So we don't even actually get to pick the unit that we want. We have to go through a stupid voting gauntlets for it. So that's going to be kind of awkward. But if I were you, I would choose a mythic hero. Mythic hero has a lot more value these days. And if I would choose especially ones that have high BST, so that you can use them in the stupid Mjolnir Strike thing to give yourself an edge. Because these toilet paper, even though the whole system could be really shitty, you can still get free merges and skills off of them. So I will not underestimate this thing, but I also won't be too hopeful about the compiled combat manuals thing either. I just hope that we're not going to end up getting some stupid units, because there are some people, because you know how this thing, it lists heroes based on the number of clicks that they've had in Fire Emblem Heroes since, like, whenever they came out. You see units like Legendary Ike, who has like over 6 million. It doesn't mean that they voted for Legendary Ike, but Legendary Ike has the most clicks. So then Legendary Ike is on the top of the on the list. So I don't want to see a repeat of what happened last time with Legendary Lyn being on the list just because she's at one of those default units on the screen. And when, that would be disastrous. I do not want to see Legendary Ike again. I have him plus 10 already because I am an Ike fan after all, but I do not want to see him offered up as a free unit in such a horrifying way. Let's not have that happen.
They should have done. They should have taken results and taken everyone from 3 to whatever, however, is it 4 on each side, taking that and had them go for hero rises. Then maybe Marth might have a chance to actually win.
You know, that would be pretty bad though, because the unit that we get would be one of the old Marths or something like that. But I mean, I get what you're saying. Marth is a little unfortunate. Let's talk about Choose Your Legends as a result. Let's just talk about that briefly.
I guess that one other point, which is that I think what they did for this voting gauntlet, not the whole like, oh, clicks and whatever, like taking out the whole bonus unit and then you get the unit that wins. It feels like this actually could be used to fix regular voting gauntlet, because I personally think voting gauntlet sucks. It's one of the worst events in the game. The whole multiplier things, it just sucks. The original system before they put that in sucked, where, you know, like Lucina got up like immediately and then it was just over after like 1 hour, and why even play? If they made regular voting gauntlets where you like vote for who you, or like you're on the team of who you want to win, and then like everyone gets the unit that wins, I feel like I would actually start to care about like picking the team and trying to get them to win because like this is the unit I want. You know what I mean? Like that actually could be a way to make it more interesting. But I highly doubt they would ever do this every single time.
Oh no, they definitely will not. That would be nice though. I would definitely like free units in that way. But
even if they're 4-star, like,
not.
I just think I would care more if I could like pick. Oh, this is like who I could get, and like get a 4-star Selkie or like a I don't know like even if it's a seasonal unit, something like that. That would be cool. But they're never gonna.
I mean, it takes a lot of effort just to get them to give you free units as it is. I can't believe I got a stupid mist, a mounted mist. With like, I mean, I guess I could use her Res Dev Plus for extra points in Arena or Mjolnir's battle or something stupid like that. But God, that makes me feel terrible. Like, if you're gonna give free units, why make people feel terrible? Like, think about it for example. Like, there are people in the previous thing where they actually do like Legendary Lyn. Of course, the majority doesn't want Legendary Lyn. But, they end up getting Legendary Lyn, and the people who wants Legendary Lyn gets Duma instead. So they feel terrible. They feel terrible. If you're going to choose the people's hero, you should honestly just choose one. Or something like that, so people know what they're getting. Or if you're feeling extra generous, just give them all. Or like in Choose Your Legends, choose one out of the 4 or one of the 8, instead of this nonsense where you have to go through some gauntlets for it. Because then the people who lose are gonna feel terrible about it. Like, if you're gonna get free units, it's supposed to be a happy thing. Why must you make people feel terrible every time you give out something for free? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like, so on this one, not only were there like 10 units per color, but I didn't even realize you could just not have a color show up. So like, you didn't even have colorless show up. Like, that's pretty bad. I mean, come on. Like, it's already bad enough that there's 10 units. But now, and then like, oh, I didn't even like prepare for any other color. So like, I don't even know what's in these other ones. Guess I'll just pick randomly. That sounds like a fun way to get a free.
Yeah, and that is exactly what's going to be an issue with this folding gauntlet. I have only bad feelings about it. I don't like it. They should have just let us pick. But well, I mean, that's how they do things here in IS.
At any rate,
Pick, though. Choose your legends.
Choose your legends. Yes, let's talk about that. So, Marth with his 3rd place, and he's not even like that close either. His 3rd place is actually like what, 10,000-20,000 points further away from the from Claude. That's pretty deplorable, I have to say. He's not doing well, and we have no guarantees that he's, oh yeah, with Dimitri and Claude gone, he's going to be okay. He's going to be 1st place, and Crom's going to be 2nd. We don't have a guarantee on that either. It could be one of these things where, hey, in 2021, we're going to end up getting those Abyss guys like Yuri or Constance, or I don't remember the rest of their names, and they become really popular instead because people thought that, oh yeah, the Ashen Wolves, man, they're so badass. Oh boy, look at the way they just like strangled Dimitri and kicked the shit out of Edelgard. Wow, that's so badass, my pee-pee hard. What if that is the case? If they actually become like really popular and Marth, he's gonna get garbage again. There's no guarantee with these things. And, I wanted to get Bernie to win because I thought that it would be really stupid. I mean, I'm happy that Lysithea and Edelgard managed to win this time around. But, if you don't win, you're going to have this problem where you never know what happens next year. Although, I'm happy with what I get because, honestly, Bernadetta even getting 3rd place was a surprise to me, even in the initial halftime thing. Although I think the halftime came a little too soon this time around.
There's a going on. New game, new units come out. People are going to just be thinking about that. That's who they're going to vote for. So I think Marth is in severe trouble. He had his votes actually tallied, like counted from all the different whatever Marth's games, and he still couldn't get there now. So I think he's going to have a very tough time unless some new game with a new awesome Marth comes out. Then, that might like have a huge resurgence of his fans. I think that's what it's going to take at this point for him. But it is a shame because he did deserve to win. And, I like Marth. I like him in Smash. I just think he's just has deserved it. But I don't see it coming anytime soon.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, at the very least, he still has a pretty high scores. I mean, there are other units that I feel like I really want to see them get a decent score or win, like Burger King, for example. Burger King at 15th place. Can you imagine like a alternative Burger King? What would he even be? Like, what would you even think that if Burger King were to win COIL? What would he even be?
I don't know. The easiest thing for them to do would be Zelgius, the actual guy. He has they should have done this with his original version. Has a red armor like him and his Banyan armor. But if it's actually Black Knight or Burger King that does win, you can't really do that. Like that would be Zelgius winning. You'd make that. So I don't know what they would do. Maybe make him when his armor was still blessed. Like they reflected that in his art. Where like if you look at Burger King's damaged art, it has like one scratch on it and he just looks like nothing has happened. So like maybe giving him a skill that reflects that. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, you can't like give him new armor. That is his armor. Like if you give him something else, you're gonna be like, that's not Burger King.
Yeah, I know. That's the mystery of that. Makes me want to vote for Burger King and make him win, because that would be so interesting how they would go about doing it. It may seem like Burger King propaganda now, but I really do hope to see something as terrible as that in the near future.
Yeah, they could give him. They can't give him his actual version of the Black Luna. It's supposed to like completely negate all your defenses to 0 and then hit 5 times. So that would he basically killed every single unit in the game with that skill. I mean, what they did it justice with Black Luna. Like Black Luna is still really good, and I don't see a time in this game where Black Luna is going to be a bad special. But I don't think they can really go much further in that direction without it just really being completely broken.
You know what though? You know what? If Burger King does win CYL 5 or for future CYLs, I could see it. The power creep must have gotten so bad that we can actually justify having Eclipse and 5 hits on top of that in the game. I could see Eclipse being a thing that might happen if he does win CYL.
Just change text to like unit instantly dies.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
But I'm looking at the rest of the CYL, and I see something that I like, because I got a little tired of the Fates and Awakening, like, outside of Anna, who, like, she finally got something. The top 10 is all, like, the recent characters from the 3 houses, and there's a lot fewer of the, like, Corinne. I mean, Robin did make it, but, like, a lot of them got bumped down. Tharja. So it seems like people are kind of over that, and especially Fates. Are there any Fates at all in the top 10?
I don't think so. Let me double check on this matter. Yeah, I don't think so. There's there's no 3 houses. I mean, there's no 3 houses. There's no Fates. There's just 3 houses. There's just 3 houses everywhere. And then there's a Plumeria on 6th place. Plumeria actually went up from 8th to 6th, which I thought was hilarious. It goes to show that people who vote for CYL don't always vote for something that they like. They just vote for something that is funny. And Plumeria, honestly, is a pretty funny choice. If she had won, I would just laugh my ass off. I would definitely just laugh nonstop. I would probably even die from it.
But this is a good thing, in my opinion, because now, if they're going to go take this list for making new characters, look how many of these will get either first characters or just like an alt or whatever. Like most, if it's their only alt, I don't think people would be mad. I do see like Erika on here, and like, please don't make another alt for her. She's like the prime unit to put in that like new skin thing where you get like, give her old version something new, because I feel like she has a million alts already. But like outside of her, I'm looking at the rest of these top 10s. Like I would welcome more versions or seasonal versions of these characters.
Oh man, if she gets an alt, she'll be so powerful. Honestly, she's the first bonus doubler unit. So, I've been meaning to make videos about her for the longest time, but I'm lazy, and the one that I'm trying to make is very long and it involves Leon and his pal Mortis, and they're gonna go off and collect the seven sacred stone, and they'll make a wish to take revenge against the evil Ephraim. But anyway, I won't spoil too much more about that. It's a really stupid story that I came up with, but I haven't done it for 2 to 3 years because it's just a lot of work. But otherwise, when she first got her refined, though, she's a really extremely powerful unit. She's deplorable. And now, we're going to give her 2 to all stats on top of that. Dude, that's disgusting. That is so disgusting. I want that so bad. Oh my god, she'll get like a renaissance. It'll be a revival for her.
Yeah, and they give her a sweet skin, too.
Yeah, I mean, Eureka has always been a popular character. It's such a shame, though, that 3 Houses came out, because now she's got bumped to 5th place, below Bernadetta. And Beelith, or Byleth, or whatever way you want to pronounce it, they below her as well. I mean, Byleth I can understand, but Bernadetta, oh, Bernadetta's just completely off the wall. Just came out of nowhere. I honestly did not expect her to go that high, but apparently, her attitude and the way she corrupts other people with her attitude seems to be relatively popular, and the fact that having a door as her persona most of the time is very interesting. I don't know much about that, though, but hey, by the way, have you finished 3 Houses
I have
yet?
not. I have been way too busy and need to get on that right now.
I need to play the Blue Lions thing as soon as possible. I've been talking about it a million times, but I've got to do it because the new update with Yuri and friends, they're coming out on the 13th. I don't have enough time. I have to hurry and get started on that. So after this, and after some work tonight, unfortunately I still have to work to get ready for Monday. Afterwards, maybe I could squeeze in some time for Blue Lions, but probably not. At any rate, so yeah, basically that's pretty much it. But Plumeria is definitely an outlier. I would just wish that people pay as much attention to Burger King as they would with Plumeria. That would be so pleasant for me. I needed to see more meme votes rather than serious votes.
Yeah, I feel like after what they got, Poisoned Mutton, like, I think he kind of dropped off on the meme.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Poisoned Mutton wasn't that funny to begin with. Oh yeah, hey, what happened to Dorcas? Oh, I'm gonna smash my head on the table. I'm dead. Oh yeah, trust no one. Build an army, trust no one. I'm so funny. But Burger King, I mean, like, Burger King with a new unknown armor, or maybe his armor just... I don't even know what they will do with Burger King. Maybe they literally will dress him up as Burger King. That would be beautiful. That
Just,
kind of stuff.
just put a crown on top of his helmet. Just put a crown on top of
Yeah, pretty much. Like, literally, they go to ask Burger King for permission so they can give him a Burger King crown or something like that. That would be pretty bad. I mean, like, Plumeria. Plumeria is just like, what the fuck are we gonna get out of her? It was just gonna be in, like, a skimpy like outfit or something like that. It's pretty much guaranteed we'll probably get her like in summer where she's barely wearing like nothing, and that would be her skin, her contribution to this game. She has no, like, she's only been introduced. She only get like 1 sentence. Her making 6th place is just so stupid that it's actually funny.
Yeah, I'm just browsing the rest of this list, just the top 20s. She has a lot of alts, but isn't it about time the original Azura gets something? A refine, a skin, like, doesn't she still just have the Sapphire Lance?
Yeah, I think she should be probably part of the ones that get a skin. She's popular enough. But she's a dancer. I mean, this dancer's stats, how it is. She needs a unique skill, not stats. That's what she needs. And that's what Legendary Azura did. But the regular ones, if they could also do Grey Waves, that would be so disgusting. It'll make me sick. But it'll also give them a lot more value than they do now. Because Infantry means a lot of different bonuses that you can give. Like Infantry Breath, Infantry Pulse, yada yada yada. But Flying Legendary Azura can only provide so much. So with this case, you can actually build up something disgusting. But I also don't want to see that because it's also very disgusting. So I don't know. It's hard to decide. But stats will do her no good. She's getting a skin mostly just because of a skin. The stats for a dancer, I just never even think about it being. Well, then again, she is back in like year 1. She is like the most offensive dancer, where she can actually do something in combat. So I guess there's that. Maybe it'll help her with that.
If we get a Fey like reboot year 1 when she could take down all the red swords.
Reboot year 1. What the hell are we doing? Like trying to sell like the whole WoW reboot? That was so stupid too. Like all the quality of life changes weren't even there because it's the authentic reboot experience.
Yeah, no, like none of the flying mounts or any of that stuff. Just like run around slowly, have like 20-40 man raid.
Yeah, you want that experience? Here you go. Oh man, I know it's off topic, but man, you heard about what happened with Warcraft 3 Reforged, right?
I did not actually.
Oh, it got received really poorly. Got like a 0.7 points on Metacritic. It flopped real hard. So that goes back to saying what we were just talking about earlier. You know, the remakes are kind of. Let's not have that. Let's just keep building upon what we have. I certainly don't want to go back to year 1 Fae. Year 1 Fae has its own share of problems. As fondly as I remember those days, it has its share of problems.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, how can you bring it? How can you go back without the quality of life stuff? Like they've done a lot since.
Yeah, I mean, the first year and the second year, they built up a lot of. Well, maybe just the first year because ARA was the second year thing, or the end of the first year. Up until then, they had a lot of goodwill. They fixed a lot of things, and everyone was happy. But I just don't know what happened to them. It's just one bad decision after another. I mean, I suppose in terms of making money, what they're doing are good decisions. I mean, we just recently had like a report on their earnings from Sensor Tower or some shit like that. They got like 600 mil, like way above every other products that they have. You got Dragalia lost at like 120 something, I think. So it's pretty disgusting the way that they decide to cash out with this game. I don't even know what to do at this point. You haven't spent any money since the last time, right?
Since I stopped, I think I bought 1 pack when Blake got his refined because Hector was on, and I was like, I'm giving him distant counter. And then I had to unfortunately buy a pack because Altina wouldn't show up, and I got like 5 Saltuses. So I needed to do that just to get my 1 minus attack copy. But outside of that, no. So for free to play, buying 2 packs is probably a lot. But for us, 2 packs over a year is like that's nothing, dude.
Well, I did terrible things. I don't know if you know, but I spent probably like $500 on like closed call and some other shit like that, and that was terrible. I feel bad about.
And then didn't they come out with like the reverse like that, but like instead of pushing them back, it like you draw.
You push them back. It's stupid. I don't like that. That version is terrible. But I mean, it's still good for what it is, which is damage reduction. But close call is much better, in my opinion. Pushing them back is not something you want to do. You definitely don't want to.
I guess you could do something like you push them back, then you draw back. I was thinking of that old school like gravity thing where you could like limit them to 1 space and then you draw back and they could never get to you. But you can always do that if you retreat too.
Well, imagine that happening with gravity. That would be pretty disgusting. Yeah, I don't think they'll do it, but if they do, that would be really nice. I needed some new toys for healers anyway. Healers really need to get their more pref stats as it is. Anyway, I think we're getting a little off tangent, but we pretty much talked about most of the things. I mean, besides the whole Valentine's banner with like Alm and Solicar and Rudolph. Rudolph is cool. I like him, though I probably won't be summoning on that banner either because I've got like other objectives in mind. Honestly, thinking that we should really focus on voting for a mythic hero. In fact, I think Altina herself is the perfect one for us to vote for. We should definitely vote for Altina. Then you can get rid of that minus attack Altina that you have.
Yes,
And
I'm on
also,
board. Yes, yeah. I'm on board.
Yeah. Definitely vote for Mythic Hero this time. The Hero Rises, you don't want to vote for something stupid. And I really, it really makes me think. Did they rake it the last time? Did they rake it on purpose? Like, they just let Legendary Lyn just pop up like that? Like, I don't know if people just would willingly click on Legendary Lyn like that and just makes her one of the 4 options. I just feel like maybe there's foul play involved. It just doesn't feel right. I hope that this voting gauntlet won't, well, have like stupid shit like that happening. I really hope that we get something useful. Altina winning is definitely something I want to ensure, so I will vote for Altina.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why Legendary women have shown up unless they like counted all the Lyns. So if you tapped on any Lyn, then it counted.
Oh my god! Oh my god! You're right. They could have done that. No way, man.
And if you
Oh,
look at it
dude,
like
that makes sense.
there's so many Lyns that I'm sure Lyn overall probably was clicked on that much.
Oh my god, you're right. They could have just done that and be like, oh, well, technically Lyn won. Look at that. I mean, look how many Lyns that we have. But, you just voted for Lyn. You just didn't say which Lyn. Even though you voted for a specific one, the vote probably counts them all together. Makes sense now. It makes perfect sense why they did such evil. God damn it. It actually makes enough sense to me. Oh, no.
Enjoy a speed tactic.
God, I hope that does not happen. Oh, speed tactic. Oh, at least we finally get it for free. Oh, but anyway, what else are we talking about now? I think we pretty much covered most of it.
Yeah,
Choose your legends.
Let's see. I'm just scrolling through the thing. Hero Fests. Yeah, great. 5. You get summons on the old ones. I mean, I guess if you didn't get them, great. You can get Bike is good now. That helps the first Hero Fest, and then the second one still has Veronica, and their user units are okay. Death Blow 4, but it's not really exciting. It's just summon bound hero battle. I don't know. It's also not exciting. We've probably done them all, and the conditions to like get something on the new ones are always too annoying for me to care. So it's just orbs. The same thing for those like daily. They're like, oh, you can do it on normal mode and you can do it on hard mode. It's like, dude, the hard mode, they're like level 30 or 4. Like, it's still just a joke.
If you have the gumption to do it, they're like 15.
They make it seem like it's like, oh, if you can do them all, like as if we would get like an abyssal, daily map with like 99 HP refrigerators or something.
That would be nice, though. They honestly should do that. They instead of like 2 difficulties, they have like normal, hard, like lunatic, and then abyssal, or inferno, and then abyssal. Of course, I mean, I could also see where people might complain about how, oh, I can't do these. I can get my orbs, but you know what? It's not like bounty those like Grand Hero battles. You just fight 4 guys. You should be okay. I think you can pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, that would be fun.
Big
Just a map of like the 4 bros and no reinforcements or anything. Yeah, actually make you like think for a second instead of just press auto battle.
Yeah, then and give out more orbs. If we count 5 difficulties, it'd be like 13, 26, 39, 52, and it's like 67. No, wait, 52. 60. I can't do my math for some fucking reason, like 65, I think. Anyway, you get a lot of orbs, so that would be really nice. That would be something that I would want. But anyway, we talked about that, and then we talked about the Valentine's hero that we don't have enough info on yet, so I don't want to analyze anything without enough info. But, I mean, I guess they're good if you like Almond Solicar and all the other battles and stuff. I definitely like Rudolph. And, of course, a free silk is definitely something I want, because I can't summon the regular one, but I want the regular one really bad too. God, her stats are perfect for me. And I mean, she's a nun. Nuns are sexy. I must have nuns. Then what? We talk about FEH Pass, we talk about the compiled combat manuals. Not much else,
Yeah,
right?
the only point I want to make on the Downtimes banner, and this has nothing to do with like the unit impressions or anything, is that they changed the summoning for seasonal banners and new banners moving forward, starting with this one, where there's going to be a 4-star focus on the raid up. And they obviously, like usual, did not give enough information on it, but I think that is worth noting and paying attention to, because that's going to be, again, new and seasonals moving forward, a 4-star focus every time. That's a big change. And whether they're going to be demoted and stay demoted, or just 4-star for this banner. It reminds me of those like 4-star hero focus things they used to do. But this is definitely worth keeping an eye on. They showed Conrad on that banner being 4-star focus. So like, if you like Conrad, this could be exciting. But we'll have to see how it plays out with whether they're demoted or how they're picking the unit that gets to be the 4-star, that kind of stuff. But it's definitely a big change.
Yep. Well, can you think of anything else to talk about? If not, we're pretty much done, because this is an hour long.
No, that's about it for me.
Well, I am glad that you come and help me again with this discussion, and we've spent a nice hour having a nice chat on Sunday, right before the Super Bowl, about the wonders of the FEH Pass and the FEH Channel that we've just experienced. I thank you all for watching. Until next time.